This is the audio flashcard set for Chapter 7, Installation and Establishment. The definitions are loosely adapted from the study guide, but mainly follow my videos. If I'm going too fast or slow, you can change the speed in the video settings. Backfill. Backfill refers to the soil that's removed when a hole is dug to plant a tree. The soil is loosened and then added back around the root ball. It's also a verb that refers to this process of putting the soil back where it was dug up. Balled and burlapped, or B&B. Balled and burlapped trees are trees that are grown in a nursery field and dug up before they're sold. The root ball includes native soil and is usually wrapped with burlap and maybe wire. Bare root. Bare root trees are grown in a nursery field as well. When they're dug up, the soil is removed so that the roots are all exposed. These are cheaper because they don't weigh as much, and they can also be stored in cool, moist conditions before they're planted. It usually is only used for deciduous trees. Container grown. Container grown plants are grown in containers for their entire lives, and then they're sold in those containers. You can have a lot of root defects that accumulate in each container. Containerized. Containerized plants are grown in a nursery field, then they're dug up and put into containers before they're sold. So they do not spend their entire lives in containers the way that container-grown plants are. Drum lace. Drum lacing is a method of weaving twine or rope together over a burlapped root ball to hold all of it together. Girdling root. A girdling root is a root that grows right next to the trunk of a tree or another root. As the girdling root gets thicker, it eventually chokes off and interrupts the transport of resources in the trunk or root that it's next to. Guying. Guying is a type of support system that uses cables that are placed between a tree and external anchors. The anchors are usually in the ground and they can be the point of weakness. Guying can be used for large trees that you can't stake, or it can be used to support leaning or partially uprooted trees until they become stabilized. Hardened off. Hardening off is the process by which a plant gradually gets used to the cold or to new environmental conditions. Once the plant is adjusted, it is said to be hardened off. Inorganic mulch. Mulch is a material that's placed on top of soil to cover and protect it. Inorganic mulch is any mulch that you make from man-made or non-living materials like rocks or plastic. Organic mulch. Again, mulch is a material that you place on top of soil to cover and protect it. Organic mulch is a type of mulch that is derived from things that used to be alive. Usually this is plant material. Planting specifications. Planting specifications are documents, usually construction documents, that include details and diagrams of how trees and plants should be planted. They can include instructions on mulching, digging, staking, and more. Portable watering device. A portable watering device is a temporary irrigation option that has a reservoir of water that's slowly released into the soil. It has to be refilled regularly since it's not directly connected to a water source. Root ball. In terms of tree planting, the root ball is the part of a tree that's below its trunk. For container plants, it's the part of the tree that's in the pot. For field-grown trees, it's the underground portion that was dug up and detached from the surrounding soil. Root pruning. Root pruning refers to any process that involves cutting roots, usually in a selective way. This can happen during transplanting of trees or during construction. Staking. Staking is the use of supports to stabilize newly planted trees in the landscape. Usually this involves wooden or metal supports that are connected to the tree by flexible ties, though there are also stakes that are used to anchor the root ball. Substrate. A substrate is a man-made medium that's used to grow plants, usually without using mineral soil. It is typically lightweight and has materials that provides ideal properties for plant growth. The study guide includes a definition for substrate that is the same thing as soil. Transplant shock. Transplant shock refers to stress that occurs after a tree is transplanted, which is related to the root loss that it gets and water stress. The tree may become stunted, it may lose leaves, or even die if it doesn't overcome the shock. Tree guard. A tree guard is a material like wire, plastic, or metal that's used to protect tree trunks from animal damage or vandalism. Tree spade. A tree spade is a piece of equipment that has cutting blades that circle around a tree and dig up the trunk and the root ball at the same time. It can also be used to move the tree to its new location and to dig a planting hole. Tree wrap. A tree wrap is a lightweight material that's used to wrap or enclose the trunk of a newly planted tree. It protects the trunk from environmental stresses, including harsh sunlight. Wire basket. A wire basket is made of metal that's used to hold a root ball together, for example, around the burlap of a balled and burlapped tree. Wire baskets can also be placed into a planting hole before the tree is put in to prevent gophers or other animals from damaging the roots.